You're listening to CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living. To learn more about who we are, what we do, and how we do it, call toll-free 1-866-928-3310, and we'll send you out a no-obligation information kit absolutely free. 866-928-3310. The CFRN Emini Futures Cast is now on Stitcher. Listen to us on your iPhone, Android phones, BlackBerry, and WebOS phones. Stitcher is smart radio for your phone. Find it in your app store or at Stitcher.com. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to radio.
Are you ready, Steve? Andy? Yeah! Bert? Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If on the other hand you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Bork. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Monday, 29th day of April, 2019. I need a sound check here. I think some settings got off. Hold on. Yeah, that should be better. Yeah, much better. Hope it's better for you. Hope it's as good for you as it was for me, or is. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that very much. Okay, as I said, welcome. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a chance to spend some quality time with the family. It's always nice, right? I saw you in church Sunday. I tipped my hat like I do, and I'm just glad you're here, right now. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're here for the very first time, a special CFRN welcome to you. Roll out that digital red carpet. We're glad to have you with us. We are in our second decade of broadcast history, so grab your day planner and pencil us in for the next one. All right? Have a chart up of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. If for some reason you cannot see the chart, let's fix that. go to our homepage, cfrn.net. Right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone. Follow the instructions, 30 seconds, you'll be registered, and you will have one-click access to the show each and every day till the end of, time as we know it. All right? It's a 30-second registration, painless, effortless. In fact, we'll send you, or we'll have sent to you, a reminder every day, about an hour before the show. Hey, reminder, the show starts in an hour. If you don't want to receive those email notifications, those reminders, you can easily opt out, but you still have one-click access to the show each day. Fair enough? Now, I know sometimes, in the middle of a trading day, something manages to pull you away from the trading platform. You've got to run an errand, you got to go to the bank and make a deposit. Who knows? You get your hair done. Take your cell phone, take your tablet, and go to youtube.com/CFRN/live. youtube.com/CFRN/live. There you will find, during the show, a real-time simulcast of this very broadcast, thanks to the good folks at YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Okay. The chart of which I spoke, S&P 500, Emini Futures, this is a 30-minute chart. Okay? For those of you who are currently participating in the Logic 247 open house 3-day big event, whenever I post commentary or a chart in the discussion group channel on Telegram, it is always a 30-minute chart unless otherwise specified. In the live training room, we use a range chart. The underlying principles, methodology is exactly the same, identical. They coexist in separate worlds. Okay? Now, the reason we use the range chart in the live training room each day, we have 2 hours to impart as much wisdom and knowledge to you as we can. If we used a larger time frame in the live training room, it's possible that you could go through an entire day's class and not see a trigger or an execution or any trade management or, all the stuff you came for. Because our methodology and our indicators, simple by design, were built on a fundamental principle. Not something we invented, not the latest thing to come down the pike. It's quite ancient, actually. Our job is to simply teach you how to see what we see. Once you're able to see what we see, you'll be able to think like we think. And once you grab a hold of that, you can say goodbye to all the nightmares of the past. All the disgruntled gurus, indicators that, I don't know what they're indicating, but have you checked your account balance lately? Maybe it's not living up to expectations. Now, I'm not knocking any other methodology, any other method of training, or anyone else's indicator set. In fact, take some of the indicators that come with every trading platform. And we got stochastics, we got MACDs, we got Bollinger Bands, we got advanced decline lines, we got the tricks and the trend, and, well, you get the idea. I could go on and on, right? A lot of platforms come with a built-in library of like 200 indicators. Now, hear me well. I'm going to go out on a limb here and just say, because I actually believe this, every one of those indicators does exactly what it was designed to do. Now, if you're using any of them, you might go, I don't know about that. No. Now, it may not put you into a profitable trade. It may not keep you out of an unprofitable trade. But they're all based on math. And math, it's kind of a perfect science, right? So even though the indicators and the oscillators, and there's just so many, I know because Michael and I used to, well, at one point we met in 2006, we either owned it, borrowed it, begged it off somebody, or coded ourselves. Now, in this day and time, all traders have multiple monitors. Our indicators had multiple monitors. Lots of stuff. And you know what? We were always just this close. This close. We only needed one more filter. One more indicator. Just one more oscillator. Get another monitor.
Those days, they haunted us. They haunted us.
Right. I still wake up in a cold sweat. and my wife says, honey, numb. And I go, no stochastics. And she rolls over and goes back to sleep. By the way, I wasn't in NOM, and to those of you who were, thank you for your service. And I mean that. I was in the military, but I was blessed that I entered right after the Vietnam conflict and was out before the other stuff started to happen, which Michael was a part of. So anyway, we had to we knew we were headed nowhere fast, right? It's a blind alley. There's a concrete wall ahead of us. We had to put on the brakes pretty quick. Now, it's one thing to get rid of an indicator or an oscillator that you begged or borrowed. A little more difficult to get rid of stuff that you paid, big bucks for. Some of the stuff's pretty expensive. What's really difficult, something that you coded, built from scratch. I mean, how many nights did you kick the covers, turning over those equations in your head to make sure it was perfect? And it was perfect in most cases. I mean, math's a perfect science, and so it did what it was created to do, what it was programmed to do, right? But the big question, did it contribute to the bottom line? And painful as it was, we had to go, nope. No bueno. I mean, over and over and over until our screens cleared up. We had a yard sale, sold all the extra monitors, and what we were left with was a look deep into the market that we'd never been able to see before because of all the clutter. Our indicator set is designed to go into any market, any time frame, find the underlying rhythm of that market, and then with color-coded ease, it will highlight the highest probability entry for you, and you, and you, and you. Now, we didn't invent this. The tools that we use to help everyone see it, process it, and take action, yes, we did in fact create those. And they work quite well to do what they were created to do, to show you what's always been there, but now you can see it with understanding. I don't know if you speak Russian. A lot of collusion going on. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm not going political here. I'm just saying, you're on a business trip to Moscow. Coffee shop downstairs. The only New York Times they got on the stand, or Wall Street Journal, is the Russian version. You can sit there and stare at that thing all day long. Look at the pictures, like charts. See, but if you don't speak the language, That newspaper is worthless to you unless you got a cat box, a bird cage, or need to warm yourself. Now that same newspaper in English, my goodness, it's chock full of opinion, sometimes news, right? But at least you understand it. So many traders get up every day and rush to a chart that they stare at, transfixed for 8, 10, 12, 18 hours. But they never really grasp what the chart's trying to say. See, there's a narrative. What you see on my screen right now, well, there's a narrative. And I'm going to walk you through that narrative before today's broadcast is up. So hold on. Let me give you just a little bit of news. Then we're going to take a look at the numbers from around the world and the cash markets. We've got to talk about that today, too. And then we'll go to Michael, get a recap of what happened in the live trading room. All right? And then I'll be back, answer all your questions. We'll talk about anything you want. I'll walk you through the charts from the different markets. And a friend of CFRN, John, will join us. And we'll probably talk about, maybe a few equities. Yeah, we might go a little political there. But I'll try to spare you from too much. All right? The live trading room that we do from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, every day, is decidedly different than this live broadcast. I will point out opportunities as we see them throughout the broadcast, but that's not the purpose of the broadcast. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. And if you can't get enough in just one broadcast, go to youtube.com/CFRN. You'll find years of broadcasts. Okay? Years. All right. I said I'd give you a little bit of news, and I'll make it quick. Well, relatively. There it is. All right, a little bit of news. Crypto investment bank Galaxy Digital had a net loss of $272 million in 2018, according to the block. CEO Michael Novogratz, you may know the name, said the final quarter of the year for the crypto industry felt a little bit like watching Game of Thrones last night. Not a Game of Thrones fan, but I understand some people really like it. Now, Novogratz was alluding to the show's reputation for bloody, violent storylines. During a shareholder conference call, he said the results on the year weren't great by any means, but it's a little deceiving because for me what matters is what the operating loss is and what our cash book does. Novogratz added that Galaxy Digital's goal is to get our operating business as close to breaking even as possible. He said good progress has been made so far in 2019. Unveiling the results, he said the start of the year yielded a notable increase in activity across our business lines and said the year-to-date rally in digital asset markets had helped Galaxy Digital's bottom line. At the end of November, the company confirmed it had lost $136 million during the first 9 months of last year, meaning these financial results show the losses effectively doubled in the space of just 3 months. Nonetheless, Novogratz has been bullish about Bitcoin, BTC, and its long-term potential. In February, he predicted the cryptocurrency will become digital gold and said $8,000 was a feasible medium-term price point. In January, the former Goldman Sachs partner increased his shares of Galaxy Digital to 79.3%. Let me just say one thing about Goldman Sachs. I don't know if you've looked at their earnings statement ever, but I think it was until last year, on average, guess how many losing trading days, and I don't like those terms, winning and losing, but I'll spare you the sermon on that, okay? Goldman Sachs, on average, has 3. That's right, 3 losing trading days a year. And I can see the look on your face, or I sense it anyway. Astonishment, anger, I don't know. I said all that to say this. Novogratz left that kind of a honeypot for, now remember, in the final 3 months of last year, losses on the year doubled. But come January, he increased his own personal holdings in Galaxy Digital to 79.3%. Am I saying this simply because Digital Galaxy has a Goldman Sachs pedigree? It can't fail. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is you should keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at the numbers from around the world. Now, these are cash markets. And I know that always is a little bit confusing. Okay? So, we refresh data. You're looking at the S&P 500 Emini Futures. That's the S&P 500 cash index, right? Sitting right there. It looks like one tick off an all-time historic high. We've already made historic highs today, intraday. Looks like we backed off a tick. An ascending price channel. Futures have been in a descending price channel. We said that had to change. Now, it's important to understand this S&P 500 index. It's simply that. It's an index of what's happening with those 500 companies. When the bell rings on Wall Street and traders start buying and selling shares of those 500 companies, it's all averaged up, add them up, divide them by 5, you get the idea. And that prints this. When you watch TV, listen to the radio, read the Wall Street Journal, this is what they're talking about. But guess what? You can't buy this. You can't sell this. Now, there's a number of derivatives based on this index that you can buy and sell. There's ETFs, and of course there are futures. And that's what we do. Now, there's a whole laundry list of reasons why so many of us left the world of equities and embraced futures. I won't go over the whole list right now, but the part I want you to understand, futures follow the cash market. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying tick for tick, futures move with the cash index. The derivative futures market looks to the cash index for guidance, and then the actions of buyers and sellers in the futures market are what move the needle up or down. So this needs to be an important reference point. You're not going to trade this. This is going to help you develop your narrative and give you some understanding of what's happening in the market. So I'm about to give you the prices of the cash indexes, the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, the NASDAQ, all these. But you can't buy or sell those. You got to go to the futures or an ETF. Okay? All right, enough said. Starting here at home in the U.S., Dow currently up 34 points, NASDAQ up 18, S&P 500 up 7.5, Russell 2000 up a little over 9. In the commodity basket, crude oil is down a penny, trading 63.32 last. Gold down $8.10, trading 12.80.70 last. At the close in the Asian markets, the Nikkei posted a loss of 48 points. Shanghai was down 23, and the Hang Seng closed positive 287 points. That's almost 1% for the Hang Seng. In European markets, at the close, the FTSE was up 12, The DAX up 12. And the CAC up, go ahead, you can say it. That's right, 12. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but there it is. The only mover or shaker in the whole bunch would be the Hang Seng. It was a mixed day in Asia, a green day in Europe, and so far, it's a big green Radio Monday right here in the US of A. Let's go to Michael, get a recap of what happened in the live training room today. When he's done, I'll be back with lots more, a chat with John, and of course, answers to all your questions.
All the questions.
Good morning, Michael.
Good. Well, it's good afternoon for me.
How was your trip? How was the trip?
The trip was really good. It was really good. I gotta say, we had a nice place right there on the beach. Ended with an unexpected festival on Saturday. Had a band that played all day long on Saturday. Music I love, and they were really good.
What kind of music is that?
Stuff from like the 70s, 80s. Not hair band music. But,
you know,
blues.
I fell in, speaking of 70s music, Alexa, play Faithfully. I fell in love with this song again over the weekend. I don't know why, but I'm sure everyone in this audience is familiar.
Yep, that's 80s music.
Yeah, I'll take 80s. That's okay.
Got a little journey.
Yeah.
But no, it goes back even farther than that. It was farther than that. It was even 60s music.
Certain songs stir up in me, not just an emotion, but it's something on a physical level. Especially if I haven't heard it for a while. Now, see, I didn't get that just now with Journey because I listened to it all weekend. But the first time I played it, I think on Saturday or Friday, whatever it was, my stomach's kind of like, it's not the flip-flop you get on a roller coaster, but it's something, and it is physical. It's powerful.
Ask Alexa to play Imagination.
Alexa, play Imagination. Is this by the Imagine Dragons?
Imagination.
No, I'm kidding.
On Amazon Music.
There you go.
Oh, there she goes again. Every morning it's the same.
No, that's not the Imagination.
That's Sean.
It's a different one. Well, I mean, he might have redone it, but that's Imagination. That was the last song that they played.
That's
the
Journey
one that
song?
sticks in my head. No, it wasn't a Journey song. It was the last song that they played.
Ask
I
Gary.
remember because
He
Jada
is
and I were
our
dancing.
resident cultural reference historian. What song he's talking about, Gary? Okay. I mean, if it's not Old Town Road, it's, it ain't nothing these days.
Well, I mean, he played. It was all kinds of stuff that I really like, and I can't remember any of them. It's Imagination.
Speaking of songs from this generation, I posted something last night. Posted a lot of stuff. Hey, if you guys aren't in the discussion group, kind of missing the party, so drop by when you can. Scrolling. Ha. Go. I said last night, we were having much discussion about many things. Robert had posted something, and I said, woohoo, Robert, you give me goosebumps. He goes, that's crazy obvious. At the moment, anyway. I told you if you hung with me, you would go there. Crazy. His words, not mine. And then I said, some say the S&P is a cruel mistress. That's what some people say. Some people feel that way. I say they just haven't learned to dance. Alexa, play Thinking Out Loud.
By Ed Sheeran on Amazon Music.
When your legs don't work like they used
Oh
to
yeah, that's
before.
what
Now, that's a
This is
jam.
the family who booked the trip.
it is.
Which
It is. It's on my playlist.
Will your eyes still smile from your cheek?
And then Robert posted, that analogy is brilliant. And being a humble sort, I said, oh no, you're brilliant. Because he figured out exactly what I was talking about. Some people wake up every day to go slay dragons in the marketplace. They gotta go to fisticuffs with the S&P 500. That's 500 large cap companies. Really deep pockets. And a lot of followers on Facebook. If you wake up to do battle with the S&P, to duke it out, to slay it, to beat it down, to whip it, man, that's got to be exhausting. Not to mention you never win. The market always wins. There goes that word again.
Oh, the market never loses.
The market
really.
is always right.
It's
It's
not
never
gonna lose.
wrong. The market's never been wrong, never will be wrong. It's the market. It's what it is. And so
it doesn't have anything to lose.
you can either learn to do what Ed Sheehan is doing here with this lovely young lady, beautiful dance to a beautiful song, or you can suit up, sack up, put your gloves on, and come out swinging. Which sounds more appealing, right? Well,
I'm glad I didn't take the charts. So
Yeah.
I got to see that.
hey, now take them. Now it's all
Okay.
yours.
Now I'll take them. Okay. But yeah, that song is on my playlist.
Oh, have you watched that video, Rise Up or Rise?
I
I don't
don't
want to spoil it.
think so.
It's really a good one, and so you check it out on your own time. But or I'll send you a link in Telegram. But you gotta actually watch the video, because then the song takes on an even greater, deeper kind of a meaning, and just bring you a Kleenex. All right, very good.
Okay. No.
Okay, the charts
Got my
are
popcorn.
under your control. Let me slide them up here for the folks on YouTube. They are sealing the cracks in my street, so if you hear loud machinery in the background, thanks, City of Phoenix. All right, it's all yours.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't have much to go over today, sadly, but I will go over what I do have to go over.
Well,
All right.
let me just guess. But what you do have to offer is the truth about trading.
Absolutely. And and today, if everybody was trading with me, they would have been done after 14 minutes. 14 minutes.
Based
Make a living.
upon rules of the room, daily goals, etc. But he'll go into detail on that. Okay?
I will.
And I'll shut up and take it away.
Okay. Here we go. I always start this with an if you have not taken the free trial, go to the homepage at CFRN.net and start out right here. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial. Apply.cfrn.net. Click that link right there. And you'll be brought here. And on this page, all we ask for is your email, your first name, how you found us. Hit the submit button. Once you hit that submit button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click the confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. Unless we're having an open house or something like that, then you might be sent the thing automatically, but we don't know until you hit the submit button. Okay, so you got to hit that. The results today, a green day. Yay! We have, well, I mean, it's been a really slow month. It really has. It's been a slow month. Tomorrow's our last day of the month. But, well, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. I have to say that. All right, today is the 29th day of April, 2019. We made 14 ticks on crude. There's a whole bunch of fours in today's thing. So we made $140. It took 14 minutes. 14. and 4. It took 14 minutes in one trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 per contract, and we took a total of 4 trades. So that's, if you look at this over here. Now, I don't usually go into any detail about the spreadsheet, but I'm going to right now because it's probably worth going over. Crude oil is my favorite market. And it's the one I usually have the most profit in. Look at these other ones compared to crude. 475, 500, 1210. So, crude is one, it's kind of got a mind of its own, where the other ones, like the ES today, and I'm going to get into this, got stuck in a weekly trading zone. It was stuffed there most of the morning. Didn't give any trade setups at all. The euro and gold, they, today, for some reason, just gave nothing. And, I haven't traded soybeans in a while. This is my soybean column. I haven't traded soybeans at all this year, I don't think. And the reason that I moved away from those markets is because they just don't have any activity. You see, this one over here is the ES, the yen, and all I'm putting in there is the amount, the dollar value of the gain or loss, because they have different values, so I can't just put ticks in there. But it's all been the ES. I haven't traded the yen in a long time. Crude oil is, once again, my favorite. On the month now, we're at $17.22. That's over 19 days, averaging $90 per day. Per contract, sorry. Per contract, not per day. Now, that is a low number for us. That is a really low number. And, we want it to be over 100, but it looks like, unless I have like a $1,000 day tomorrow, it's probably not going to get over 100. And I don't know what, tomorrow could be a $1,000 day. But, we're talking about one contract. And I've had days like that in the past. $1,000 days in the past. With one contract in the first 2 hours. Anyway, on the euro at $8,175, that's over 73 days, averaging $111 per day. And that number right there is what's important. If you can average over $100 per day per contract, then, you can have big numbers at the end of every year. Okay, let's get into what we actually did. On gold, we didn't do anything on gold. Okay, it had some good pre-market action. There were trade opportunities here in the pre-market, here, and here. But during the morning session, there was nothing that we could do. Gold was just stuffed in this range, okay? And there was nothing that we could do there. And the euro was pretty much the same until the end of the trading session. We had no opportunity in here because we didn't have a trend. Right? I didn't want to do this right here because the high of the day was right there at the time. All right, and I didn't do this because the cycle was going down too steep, and then it ran up during the break. And there's nothing that you can do about that. There wasn't a single trade set up. Crude oil, however, my favorite market. Let's see. Here was our first opportunity. Okay, this was our first opportunity. Actually, that wasn't our first opportunity. We missed one right here. A shorting opportunity right in there. And then we picked up 10 ticks here. Got us the goal for the day on the first trade. Could have quit there. Okay, but we didn't. We kept going. We picked up one more tick here on a close up above the trend line. I was explaining stuff when this was going on right here. This is our highest probability trade setup right here. Highest probability trade setup. Price hit the BBC. The MA1 is red. The cycle is red. And we have great divergence down here. That went on for probably 15 ticks, 20 ticks. But I missed it because I was explaining stuff and had something all over the charts at that point. Right here, we had a break even. And then here we picked up, what did we pick up there? 3 more ticks. Yeah, 3 ticks there. And we were looking for it to get up above this level. I was telling everybody there's selling pressure here, there's selling pressure here. And, it got up above that level over here. This was during, it wasn't during the break. Okay, well, anyway, it didn't actually get up above that level. We were looking at this right here. That was the level we were looking at. And there's selling pressure, and selling pressure, and selling pressure. And during the break, it finally got up above it. Pulled back below it again. Didn't give any trade setup anywhere in here until over here. Now, at this point, you were up above this level way back here. That was the selling pressure level. So right here, the opportunity, well, at that point, you broke the selling pressure, so now there's buying pressure. Okay? And there was a long opportunity right there, another one there, and another one there. So there's, and we're now at the high of the day on crude. The ES was just a mess all day. We didn't have anything on the ES. Okay, it got up into the zone and spent most of the morning right here, inside that weekly trading zone. Okay, either right up above it or right down below it or inside it. And that was the day. But we did get our goal for the day on the very first trade. And that's all you need to do. All you need to do. 1 trade a day. Actually, you know what, this month, as slow as this month has been, we got our goal for the day on that day. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And we got our goal in 2 trades. 1 day. So, out of 19 days, on 5 days, we got our goal for the day. I mean, really fast. And if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today, we made 14 ticks on crude, $140 per contract. And today, it took 14 minutes in 1 trade to get to $100 per contract, and we took a total of 4 trades. On the month now, we're at 1722 over 19 days, and on the year, we're at $8,175. That's over 73 days, averaging $111 per day. Okay, and we'll go back here. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net, and right here it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Click on that, and you'll be brought to this page where all we ask for is your email, your first name, and how you found us. Hit the submit button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that link, we don't know that you took the free trial. So you got to click on that link. All right? All right. All right, and with that, we'll pass it back out to Studio A in fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
Ready I am. I was working on something and I thought I just might have it done by the time you were done, but I didn't quite get it done. So,
you need me to talk a little more? I can talk a little more.
You got 3 minutes in you? You got 3 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Rock and roll.
Sure. Okay. So, here on the gold. Now, we'll go over the morning session, okay? I just breeze over things. But look at this range that it's in right here. It's a really, really tight range. I would not do anything with this. Even with the Tuesday trades, I would leave this alone. Because you have to have a trend. The only thing that you don't need a trend for with the Tuesday trades is the 164. Okay? And let me throw the brown line on here. Throw the brown line on there. And you see we don't have any, oh, nope, we do have 164 right here, but this was right at the beginning of the market. Okay, and that would have been a break-even trade. But all the rest of the trades, nothing. And if we go here and we look at the euro was a lot the same. Okay, and the brown line is on the euro, and we didn't have any 164s. We're about to have one right here. If we get an up close on the current bar, it's going to be 35 up to 55. Then that would give us a 164 on the current bar. But that would be the first one of the day. No, there might have been one here. Nope. You would have had some 137s in here. That would have all worked out. But anyway, that was that market. Now let's look at crude. Crude was just, being crude all day long. There were the opportunities that we took where we got 14 ticks, but then there were also 137s. Been right here for a long. Another one right here for a long. Change directions. One right here for a short. When it gets choppy in here, that's usually when the Tuesday trades will give you more opportunity. I'm just looking here for it. There was a short right here, I think. Was it? Nope, it wasn't. Was that a long? Nope. Was that a short? Nope. Was that a long? Yes, right in here, finally. You got a long trade right in here. And on this leg up right here, let's just see. Are you guys familiar with the Tuesday trades? I just call them Tuesday trades. They all have different numbers associated with them. There's a 128, a 164, and a 137, and an inverted 137. If you're not familiar with them, then you should go to, hang on, let me get you a link. Here it is. View channel info, copy link. Go here. And if you are committed to being part of the CFRN community, you need to download Telegram. Put it on your smartphone, put it on your dumb phone, put it on, put it wherever, on your desktop. And there are many different channels that are open to the public, and the Tuesday videos are one of them. But if you go there to that link that I just put out there for you, you can watch what I do every Tuesday afternoon when I go over these trade setups. And I think it's a valuable resource. Especially if you're a partner and you have our indicator set. But if you're not a partner and you don't have our indicator set, I say a lot of things in there that just relate to price action and just stuff that's good to know. But that said, there were more opportunities in here on this leg up, and that was all during the break. Okay, but you could have taken a long there and gotten that, a long there and gotten that, a long there and gotten that, and you would be not long right now. Well, you could be. Not yet. Not yet. If we close above the MA1, then you'd probably have a long opportunity. Though we are going right into the high of the day. This solid green line here, that's the high of the day. Okay, the solid green line over here, the high of the day. Now, this presents a problem. The solid green line over here is also the high of the day. And this presents a problem. The solid red line is the low of the day. So, the reason the markets just aren't orderly right now, and the reason I say that is because when these two markets are going up, these two markets should be going down. So this one should not be at the high of the day. At the same time, this one is at the high of the day. Okay, typically that's the case. Crude oil is an oddball, but usually these two are going to go up at the same time, and these two are going to go down at the same time. Now, this being at the high of the day and gold being at the low of the day is good. But these two markets are kind of messing things up.
right, sorry for that long delay.
That's okay. Let me answer Daniel's question. I mean, to crude, Daniel, is there a market contrary to it? Usually crude and gold are going to run opposite, but crude's got a mind of its own. I mean, there are so many things that can trigger a move in crude, up or down. So many things that can trigger a move. Trump can tweet something, about opening up oil wells in the Atlantic or something like that, and crude's going to run or drop. Or he can tweet something about OPEC, and crude's going to make a move. Crude is our most volatile market, and that's why we make the most money on crude. Okay, if I had to pick one market to trade, crude oil for sure. And it performs better almost every month. I mean, let me bring up the spreadsheet. Bring up the spreadsheet and we'll just look at it. So right now, 550 on crude, 510 there, 300 there. Not a big shake. Last month, 1210 on crude, 475 and 500. The month before that, 1620 on crude. I mean, you look at those other numbers, it dwarfs them. 1640 minus 90 on gold, plus 487 there. And, if you go back, 2080, 1312 on the ES, that's not too bad. 2320, 850 on the ES. I gotta reformat that column. Yeah, look, the ES beat this one. 1840 and 2600 on the ES, but we had to have one really good day on the ES right there. 712 right there on the ES alone. But, if you go back and look, crude oil almost always is our best market. And that's, month over month. And this goes back years.
I can take it back.
Okay.
I wasn't able to. I still got to run a little bit more code. But you know what? I'm never good at keeping a surprise. I always want to tell somebody. But this is going to be a great benefit to everyone. Starting right after the show, when I fix this line of code. The issue we have with those bots signing up on the trial page?
Yes.
Gone. People will now leave a voicemail.
Is it? Really?
Bots cannot leave voicemails by design. And all they got to do is click the button, because most people are on their phone anyway. They just hit record. Yeah, my name's Joe. I want to take that trial. And then they type in their email address and bang. So.
Is it going to come as a text message?
No, it'll come as email. And I'll have a little attachment.
Well, the voicemails, is it the 949 number?
Yeah. See, here's the thing. No, it's not. No, it's not a phone number. It's web-based.
Okay.
It's web-based. You know how with your Google numbers, I don't know if you've ever looked, but you could go into the folder and you can see all the messages, and so that's what will happen. So anytime that a trial offer comes through, in fact, I think I'm going to stop them altogether. The erroneous ones, the ones done by bots. But if it doesn't have the voicemail attachment, it's not a real person. So it's a bot.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway.
All right. So they're still going to come through as emails, but it's going to have an attachment.
Exactly.
Perfect.
If it's not an attachment, it's not real. So to those of you out in the audience, some of you who maybe have never taken the trial and you want to take the trial, I know Michael told you, apply.cfrn.net. When you go there, read it, and then where you would normally type in your name and your email address and your mother's maiden name and all this other stuff, just hit the little red button. Hey, this is Pete. I want to take the trial. And it'll say, okay, type in your email address. You'll do that, and you're done. And it should work flawlessly. So, and there's a lot of other applications for this. I worked on it all weekend. Thought I had it, ready for prime time. Apparently not, but that's okay.
It was close. It was
Cat's
close
out of
to
the
prime
bag,
time.
so now I'm under pressure to make sure I do get it done today.
Exactly.
Thanks, man.
But get it done right.
Right, that's more.
I'm going to get it done right because this is kind of a big thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay,
It's a big
folks,
deal.
thank you for staying with us while we talk shop. I think John might already be here.
No, he's not.
Okay, well, then he's on his way. Now, when John pops on, folks, we will segue over to just kind of chat about the things of the day. When John and I are done, that will not end the broadcast. That'll kind of be the beginning. I'm going to walk through the different things I created last night. Oh, let me take the charts back. Got him? Got him.
Yep, you got him. You got him.
In Telegram, I created a little something I like to call the Logic 247 FAQ videos. Video number 1, welcome to the trial. Just gives you some idea what's going on. And it's a minute and a half. Video number 2, where do I get the alerts? How do I read the alerts? What does it all mean? What's an exit signal? Yeah, I cover that in. Oh, sorry, that wasn't a minute and a half. That was at 1:53. How long is that thing? I know they're all very short. This one is. I gotta wait for the ad to play.
I think it's 11 minutes.
Is it 11? That's really good for me. It's actually 13.36.
Okay.
13 minutes. Okay, and then this one addresses the indicator set. Can I use them? Where do I download them? Do I need a credit card? All that's covered here. And then, what are the Concierge Trade Alerts? Same as Logic 247. Where do I get them? How do I use them? See this video. And Emini Alert Trial FAQ number 5. What are the weekly trading zones? How do they help me? Okay. All of these, and you know what, Val? You can go ahead and share this link with the community at large if you would like. Put it in the chat box or however you do. So there's going to be more. I'm up to number 5. I've asked Val what number 6 and number 7 should be, and as soon as she gets back to me, I'm going to get those. There'll probably be 15, 20 when we're done, but it really covers a lot, and I kept them really short, not a lot of editorializing and stuff, just the facts. And this will be, even those who are already partners, already passport holders, there may be some little thing in here that's escaped you. And if you are a partner or passport holder, I want you to think back to when you became such. Think of some of the questions that you had, maybe some aha moments, or when you finally figured this one thing out, you're like, oh man, why didn't they just say that in the beginning? Please send me an email, send Val an email, hit me up in Telegram. I'll make a video about that thing, okay? You can have your very own thing on the internet. I'll put it there for you, all right? Okay, let me pull this down. The Globex Open on Friday, we talked about Trader Vic and was in fact a Trader Vic setting up. And that was kind of important. And let me show you why. We had a descending price channel in the face, the S&P Cash Index having an ascending. We were descending on futures. Ascending on the SO. I've already got it up. Right here. Okay. Up. See where we're right here, just off the high of the day. Now, I already covered, you can't buy or sell this. Futures, a derivative, were created along with other things so that a person could trade this. Okay. So ascending here, descending here. Now, this was back Thursday and Friday. Okay. So this area became incredibly important for a couple of reasons. Number one, there was a weekly trading zone. Now, because of the open house, because of those of you that are on the free trial, I normally don't pass out the weekly trading zones to the entire community at large until Thursday, and then they're able to use them Thursday, Friday, on the Sunday night Globex Open, Monday, Tuesday. partners, passport holders, they got the zones this morning. They get them every Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. For those of you on the trial, I posted them in the alert discussion group, just like I did the Concierge Trade Alerts last night. Now, over the next couple days, I'm going to teach an awful lot about these weekly trading zones, but I don't want you to overthink it. The video I did last night on weekly trading zones, I only addressed one chart, this chart, and we talked about these moves, okay? That might not look like much at first blush, but it will. By the time you leave here after the trial, you'll understand. When price approaches a weekly trading zone from below, we expect it to be good resistance until it isn't. We had another dynamic layered in, and that's this descending price channel I just talked about. You can forget for the moment that it's even a channel and just reflect on the fact that this is a trend line. We connected this high to this swing high, and then we just extended it on out. The first time, well, here's what happened the first time, the second time, or the third time. As we return the fourth trip up, okay, we're dealing with the same dynamic. The weekly trading zone will be good resistance until proven otherwise. A trend line is the same. Resistance until proven otherwise. So a lot of people, once it gets to the top of a channel or the bottom of the channel, their goal is to just, trade the breakout. That's not exactly what we do or what we look for. There's a thing called the Trader Vic. It's kind of, become an inside joke around here. Not that we're laughing at Vic, not at all. He's a trader who wrote a book, and he pointed out this little thing that's been going on since the inception of the markets. And since nobody else had really written about it, I guess he just decided to call it the Trader Vic. Or maybe we decided to call it the Trader Vic. All it means is price finally manages to break out of a channel to the upside or the downside. And instead of just becoming a runaway market, it will quite often, on every time frame and every market. Remember, what we do is fluid across all markets and all time frames. So we waited patiently for price to come back, kiss the top of the channel or that trend line, and then the move was on. So that worked out well. Okay, that's the Trader Vic. That's why it's on the chart. Now, that descending price channel is inside of this. Now, we're not pattern recognition people per se. I'm only pointing these out because they're so obvious you can't miss them, and it's germane to the discussion that we're having right now. So let's see how much squinching I can do. There we go. Yeah. All right. So back on this day right here, April 12th, during the 10 a.m. 30-minute candle, we put in this high. Same day, April 12th, 30 minutes later, or in the next 30-minute candle, we put in this low, 29.04 and a quarter. Over the next few days, this is a 30-minute chart, I was able to connect. This was a Friday, by the way. I was able to connect this to this, extend it out into the future, this to this, and extend it out into the future. When we saw that we were building what appeared to be a megaphone pattern, a funnel, a bugle, there's a lot of different terms out there for it. What it means is that here you have a high and a low. Here's a higher high. Well, first you get a lower low, then you get a higher high. And you get another lower low and then another higher high. So I think you get the picture, right? So when price got to the bottom of this pattern, popped its head out to see if it could, garner some support to make the move, yet couldn't. It popped right back inside. We then raced up to the top, and let me open this up so you can see a little bit. Again, these are 30-minute candles. See how when we got back to the top there, we just walked the line? Then we came back to the bottom. No, the bottom's down here. We're headed back to the top. Okay? Just crunch it up one more time. Make sure you get the idea. Why is this important? It's part of the bigger picture. Okay? Just like this is part of the bigger picture. S&P 500 Emini Futures daily chart. Have you seen John?
He's in.
He is. Oh, I see there's questions in the chat box. Did you address any of these questions yet, Michael?
I took care of what I could, and then there's Gary's got something in here about Trader Vic.
Wyckoff chart equals Trader Vic? No. No, Gary. The Trader Vic is simply when price pops out of the, breaks above a trend line or below a trend line, then pulls back to touch it. Just like when price moves through a weekly trading zone, what almost always happens is price comes back to touch the zone before it continues on its mission, whatever that might be. Okay, daily chart. Prior to this was the all-time historic high in the S&P 500 E-mini futures, September 21st of last year. September 20th was the previous closing high. John, are you there?
I just opened up his mic.
Okay.
I don't know if he's there yet.
I'm here.
Hey, good.
There he is. There he is.
Folks,
hey, John.
as soon as we finish talking with John, we'll go right back to where we left off here on this daily chart. Welcome to the show, John. I hope you had a great weekend.
Thank you. Thanks. No, it was a great weekend. Thanks. The busy, a lot of interruptions and things, unexpected, but great Grand Prix. The Mercedes team 1 and 2, but the Finnish guy, Valtteri Bottas, managed to finish a couple of seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So it's a very tight race right now. The Mercedes team had 4 in a row wins, so they're just about as, I mean, they're at the top, the highest level they've ever been in a world championship. They've had, I don't think they've ever had 4 wins in a row, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 4 times. That's pretty astonishing. So
it is.
Yeah, and I mean, the Mercedes is really something else. It's just an amazing team. And the fact that Bottas is able to pull ahead of Hamilton, definitely keeping him on his toes. And so it's, there's no guarantees he can win another championship. It's going to be a tough deal for him, especially if Ferrari comes back stronger. So,
do you follow NASCAR at all, John?
I used to be real fanatic on NASCAR, but lately I haven't. Some
Dale
some
Jarrett
of the
kind of
people I
broke
was
my
pulling
heart,
for
so I'm not so infatuated anymore.
have retired somewhat.
Yeah. No, I know. I live in North Carolina now, so
yeah. No. Listen,
NASCAR Hall of Fame is here.
NASCAR is great,
And I know some actual NASCAR drivers. But yeah, no, I don't really follow it either. Honestly, I don't follow NASCAR.
When I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the stock car races. That's pre-NASCAR. They just called it this. There's a dirt oval with a bunch of 57 Chevys and others out there, running around, knocking the heck out of each other, just having a great time.
Yeah.
Dad didn't fish. He didn't hunt. He didn't work on cars. But
look at that S&P, Dwayne. It's starting to look awfully bullish, awfully bullish. And that 3.2 cent came in Friday is it takes, remember, that's kind of by the rumor itself a fact. So we're consolidating a little bit right now, although we're pushing higher again. I think we actually closed an all-time record on Friday on several indices. And the Dow hasn't hit a new high yet, but I think that's pretty much imminent. It's still being held down by Boeing, but Disney is certainly making up for. Disney is just astonishing, the way it's taken off. It's making a new high today. The So it's almost it's almost inevitable that the Dow will hit new highs, continue to hit new highs here, and just the way we're consolidating it looks like the Fed, post the Fed meeting, barring any surprises, is probably going to be positive, because I'm pretty sure the Powell is going to be talking about how strong the economy is, and still, not getting too hot, if you like, not getting inflationary hot just yet. So that could help the market as well on Wednesday. So it certainly looks like we're going to morph into May fairly strongly, and even today, this opening weaker and strengthening up is a very good sign. And by the way, some of these numbers on Amazon and Microsoft are just staggering. I mean, jeepers, the some of the biggest gains these companies ever made in this cloud business is just. I'll get some of the statistics for tomorrow's show, but they're just astonishing.
We've only scratched the surface here.
Yeah.
And remember back in the day what a dumb terminal was? They referred to it when computers were first coming on the scene. It was basically the person at their desk had a monitor and a keyboard. You follow me? John? John.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. You follow me? You remember when they referred to a dumb terminal? It's just a monitor and keyboard? Because the computer, the processing power, whatever was going on, and you saw this a lot in call centers where they were, running 100, 200, 500 stations at one time. You had a real computer at your desk. You had a monitor and keyboard. Well, the whole world is moving towards that. All computing, all processing, all of the stuff that we pay for when we buy a souped-up computer, that's going the way of the horse and buggy. It's all being done in the cloud, and it's trickling down. The big companies are already doing it on a grand scale. Yeah,
and with the speed of 5G and exactly. Multi-gig and internet is going to just make that like a breeze. It's just it's going to be like a super fast computer.
This morning, Michael Dell said 5G makes a tingle run down his leg, and laughed.
So, we've pulled back quite a bit in some of the semiconductor stocks because of Intel.
SOXL?
Yeah, it's definitely taken a bit of a turn. Even Xilinx, that Xilinx got clipped for $30 off the highs.
XL and X, yeah.
Yeah. So
there's a daily chart. So it's trying to recover right here. If we can get back above Friday's close, then I see a nice opportunity back up to 130.
Yeah, even though it looks very that's a big gap, by the way. Boy, that's actually,
we're talking 130. Well, it's over $10.
Yeah. So maybe the semiconductors remember they had an astonishing run, so they might have just overshot a bit and may have to consolidate here a while, and could be a bit of a damper on the market. So the dollar is actually off a little bit today. Once again, the commodities are pulling back somewhat, not too much, but maybe. And then again, the Fed, the next couple of days are very critical, especially Wednesday, as to how the metals will come out of it, and the markets in general. So that's what we have to face here. I see that the ADP is expecting 181,000 jobs, and given the strength of the 3.2%, I'd probably, we might be looking at an upside surprise on the jobs.
Tonight, everyone should pay close attention. 9 p.m. Eastern. China's manufacturing PMI comes out. That's a big number, and if you're trading literally any market on the Globex session, depending upon if this number is a huge miss or a huge hit, I mean, it can move the market you're in. Not saying you should try to trade something based on that news. Simply be aware that news is coming out. It might ripple the water, and you don't want to be caught by surprise. And then after that, John, we have the Kageson manufacturing PMI 45 minutes later. That's tonight. And again, it's high impact. Certainly has the ability to move the markets. Now tomorrow, as far as news goes, we've got the holiday in Japan, high impact. We have the German unemployment change. It's 5 minutes ahead of the London Open. It's interesting that they would do we do ours before the Open, they do theirs after. We do ours after, they do theirs before. I think that's what I said. Okay, and then Canada has their GDP tomorrow morning, 8:30. It's a high-impact economic event. That's how they label it. I don't expect too much
with the
out of
U.S. being so strong, I would expect the Canada GDP to be pretty strong. It's probably going to be an upside surprise.
The U.S. tide is raising all boats. All boats rise on this. Then tomorrow morning we got CB consumer confidence. That's high impact. We have pending home sales. That's high impact. Those come out at 10 a.m. Eastern. Be very, very careful. If you trade that first 30 minutes, folks, as we approach 10 o'clock, always check in the Telegram channel. If I see the potential for a 10 a.m. reversal, which we do get fairly often, I will alert you to that. We discussed it just briefly this morning in there. And then we got New Zealand's employment change. And then we roll into Wednesday. Holiday around much of the world. What holiday is it?
May Day.
Oh, May Day. That's right, May Day. All right, and then we got manufacturing PMI to Great Britain Wednesday morning. ADP non-farm employment change, high impact. That's 8:15 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Then we got the ISM manufacturing PMI, of course, crude oil inventories at 10:30. And then 2 o'clock, all eyes will be on the Fed. We're going to get the FOMC statement, the interest rate decision, and I don't know why, but he's holding a press conference. So, I mean, that's become his thing. He just does it. And he's certainly got a lot better at it, don't you think, John?
Yeah.
He really shot himself in the foot that first time out, but he's gotten it together. And we don't expect interest rates to increase. I don't think we're at a point yet for them to decrease. So with no expectation for a change in interest rates, it will be the accompanying commentary that everyone will be leaning in to make sure they hear. And then you're going to have all of these people, funds, managers, money managers, interpreting what he said. Okay, well, he said this, but what I think he means is that. So we don't trade any type of news here. We trade the reaction to the news. Once upon a time, if you got good news, the market would go up, and once upon a time, bad news would send the market lower. In the world in which we live today, with a 24-hour news cycle, it's not so much the same. I've seen markets just go down on good news and vice versa. So be careful tomorrow. We recommend to all of our traders, be flat ahead of the Fed, let it unfold, let the market give its knee-jerk reaction, and then when the real move gets underway, now we're talking. What else do you want to look at, John?
There's not a whole lot going on today. Really, it's kind of I might call it just defer till tomorrow, if you wouldn't mind.
Very good. One last question from Daniel. What do you think about the health risks of 5G?
Well, that is a bit of a problem. It's kind of an unknown, and these different spectrums. You know, apparently China has a better spectrum than the U.S. There's a lot of spectrum that's used for military. That's not that it may be freed up for commercial, but it's restricting the range of spectrum in the U.S. and it's possibly endangering health because of the particular spectrum that's going commercial. You know, it may just be a lot of what's the word? Fear, you know, unwarranted fear. But you've got to be careful of, you know, this radiation stuff. It's like that stuff that happened in Cuba and over in China. You know, these people being targeted supposedly with radiation of some sort, and you know, I personally don't like to be too near microwaves when they're running. I think that's not a good idea. You know, this is sort of a similar thing. So, I mean, you know,
I won't stand right in front of a microwave when it's. I don't like to use it anyway,
holding these phones up to your ear all the time is probably not a good idea either. It's better to use an earpiece.
When I was very young, my grandfather got one of the first. Well, not one of them. He was an early adopter of the pacemaker, and I was so fascinated. This is my grandparents. They had a telephone, a rotary dial phone that weighed about 20 pounds. It was black and big and heavy. But even way back then, after my grandfather got the pacemaker, he would go in the extra bedroom or the phone room, and he would call the doctor, and he would hold the receiver up to his chest. And somehow the doctor was able to read that, even back then, before the world went tech crazy. And I thought that was really incredible. And so you walk into you started to see signs pop up in, you know, convenience stores and other places, even restaurants, warning microwave in use. It could stop your pacemaker. If it's got the power to do that, I mean, what else? And I'm worried about these hackers too. I mean, they can hack your car. Who knows? I don't know if anybody's pacemaker's ever been hacked, but if a doctor back in the day could listen over the phone with some device and interpret this, then I don't know. It's concerning. I worry about it. Pray to God I never need one, but it is an amazing thing. The advances made in both technology and medicine, they kind of go hand in hand. The last decade has been nothing but incredible.
For sure.
Every day there's some new discovery, and we're picking, and it's not like we're slowing down. It's not like we're running out of ideas or running out of things to invent. Remember the guy at the patent office back 100 years ago? He told Congress, we better close this place because everything that's been invented has been.
No, it's going to accelerate. I mean, and you know, the internet is an unbelievable innovator in all kinds of ways. We got those things that we haven't even seen yet. And I mean, look at the way Twitter has revolutionized the world. Facebook, it's you know, I really think the next big thing somehow. I think this news that came out a few weeks ago about this brain stimulus that can potentially recover your memory, like it was 50 years ago. This is, you know, you see there's a few savants around who can, you know, there's an actress, she's got, you know, total recall. She can remember everything, like almost her entire life in Technicolor. And there are people who have that kind of memory power, and I think that somebody's going to invent a way to bring that to everybody in time, you know, and maybe even download information to your brain, so you can save the time reading and everything.
Well, I believe you and I talked the day after I. I don't remember the name of that website. They have a cap that athletes and other people put on, and this thing does electronic stimulation to certain parts of the brain, and they say it increases a person's ability to learn. Like you put the skull cap on as you're reading, you know, your biology book, Students are using them, and they say it's an incredible thing. I mean, but at what point?
By the way,
what point
one
do we
time
have?
thing, Tesla made it, or what's his name, Elon, made a kind of a deal with the SEC over the weekend, and the stock is rallying off that news. And it looks like it might have put in a bottom here that we were talking about last week. So, listen, have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
John,
Thanks very much.
have a good one. Hope you feel better.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Since you mentioned Tesla, let's just have a quick look. Oh, well, we'll see. That's daily. Let's go weekly. And we pull back into support. If we don't hold here between basically 160 and where we are right now, if the market can't find good support, then the picture could get pretty ugly pretty quick. S&P cash. Back to the futures. Okay. Did you listen to the S&P E-mini daily report yesterday? The S&P E-mini daily report can now be heard on over 100 million Alexa devices. And that's a true story. Alexa, play E-mini daily report. She can't hear me. Alexa, launch E-mini daily report.
Welcome back to the S&P 500 E-mini daily report. And now, from Studio A, this is Mr. D.
Greetings. Today is Sunday, the 28th day of April, 2019. We are right at the Globex Open. Friday, price managed to rally up on the S&P 500 E-mini Futures to our trigger, 2942. We are waiting this evening to see if Globex is going to be able to take that higher on the Asian session. Congratulations to all of you who were able to take advantage last week of the 4 out of 5 days that the alert worked quite well. The 5th day out of 5, it just didn't trigger. So stay with us this week, tonight on Globex and into tomorrow. If the bulls can keep the rally going that they started on Friday afternoon, consider being long 2942 to 2948 to 2959. If the bulls fumble the ball, if the bears can take price below 2928, consider being short 2928 to initial target 2924 on an extended move all the way to 2908. Always stay with the trade as long as the chart tells you it's okay. If you don't know how to do that, we'd love to teach you. Give us a call, 949-42-E-MINI. See you at the bell.
Thanks for tuning in to the S&P E-mini daily report. Be sure to check back tomorrow for the numbers that make you the smartest guy on the street. Any street. Looking for specific turn-by-turn directions? Take a free trial at apply.cfrn.net or call 949-42-E-MINI. That's 949-42-E-MINI. This has been the S&P E-mini daily report. Signing off.
Thank you, Alexa. All right. Now, all you got to do, go to your mobile device that you use to set up your Alexa device with. You've got an Alexa app on your phone now as a result. Open the Alexa app. Go to Things to Do. Go to Skills. When you get into skills, search the word Emini. Will pop right up. Click Enable Skill, and then just turn to your device and say her name. Launch Emini Daily Report. There you have it. The file is updated each and every day by 9 p.m. Eastern, and that's for the following session, or the current session. Sunday night starts the Monday session. Monday night starts the Tuesday session, and so on. Logic 247 is running from Sunday afternoon, 6 p.m. Eastern, Globex Open, right up until Friday afternoon, 5 p.m., when the Wall Street day session closes. Okay, now, the numbers you just heard on the daily report were also reflected in the alerts last night, Logic 247. Daily report. It's been long. 2942. We've waited on this for 3 days now. I talked in the channel this morning or last night about your new constant companions, discipline and patience. Now, because there's so many markets, we weren't sidelined until this triggered. There was other things to do, but we knew what the high probability thing was, and so we wait. Did we have some interim alerts? We did. But this move, which potentially takes us to 29.59, which would be a 17-point move total off of 29.42. Now, the initial target, we've already hit that, 29.48. That's a 6-point move. From the entry to the initial target. It would not be unheard of to see price come right back down, drop below 29.42, and take you right back up. Because it's already done it twice. If you're new, be prepared to hear me say this. Important prices in important areas are almost always tested. You heard me say it a number of times in the discussion group last night. Price triggers us up, 42, takes us to 48. Gets back below the trigger, takes us up for a second 6-point move. Now it's going to consolidate here because that target is an important price, important area. Price will then want to do one of two things. It will come back to test the trigger. The trigger passes the test as it did here. We'll return to 48 on our way to 59.60. As I said on the daily report, if the bulls fumble the ball here, the bears scoop it up, we know exactly how we'll deal with that. At what price, what action we'll take. No guesswork, no surprises. We don't know what's going to happen next. And I don't care how well written the ad copy is in an email or on a website. They don't either. Not man nor machine can tell the future. No more than we can change the past. And that's just the truth. We can know with a high degree of probability what will happen next. But the divide between those who understand that they can know with a high degree of probability what will happen next, the divide between those who claim to, quote unquote, know the future, and that's the Grand Canyon of trading right there. You've heard me talk about 9 out of 10 traders failing. Why? They got no teacher. And, I mean, there's that no teacher thing. There's a lot of stuff under that roof. One is the mistaken belief that you can know the future. I mean, that's what every website and every email you get about trading tells you. Man, you sign up for our deal, get our indicator, our oscillator, our crystal ball. You can read tomorrow's newspaper today. Well, I'm sorry, but you can't. Now, the people who believe that, who read the ad copy, get a tingle down their leg, rush out and buy it, see, those are the 9 out of 10. Seeking that which can't be found. Because God just didn't create it that way. Now, maybe he's got another world, another universe somewhere where that applies, but not here. Not now. The 1 out of 10 who becomes a profitable trader, not only did 9 out of 10 of those have a teacher, but that teacher taught them this very important fact: you can't know the future. Now, some people just can't let go of that. The late nights, the Googling till your fingers bleed, just one more filter, one more indicator, one more oscillator, and then I'll have a Baker's 12 dozen, right? Where does that get you? Nowhere, right? So 1 out of 10 understands that in this perfect world in which we live, knowing with a high degree of probability what will happen next, that's as good as it gets. And so that 1 out of 10, they stop the hunt, the great seek, the search, the mission to find the impossible. When you take your focus and your mind off of the hunt, you can settle down and actually start trading. It's what you want to do anyway, right? Okay. Well, this is what we do. What we do is very simple. Elementary, some might say. In fact, I'm quite sure many traders with expensive platforms and data feeds and some of those $10,000 indicators that are out there floating around, they don't want to hear how simple it is, because they've invested so much time and so much treasure and all this stuff that promised to give them the keys to the kingdom, but just never did. You've probably all heard of Amazing Randy. He's the guy who says, he's been saying this for decades, I'll give $1 million to the first person who can prove that there is such a thing as paranormal activity. Now, if you've ever heard of bump in the night, you probably think, yeah, maybe there is. But nobody could prove it. With $1 million purse, no one's been able to prove it all these years. I'll say here today on live radio, if you can bring an indicator, an oscillator, a methodology, or just bring the guru himself, right? If they can outperform what we're teaching you over these few days on this trial, I'm not going to give them $1 million, but I will give them some cash and valuable prizes, and I'll eat my hat right here on live radio. I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting. I'm just trying to save you a lot of time, treasure, aggravation, constipation, you name it. Chasing all these rabbits down these holes, racing up these blind alleys just to slam into another brick wall. It doesn't have to be that way. Now, all the vendors want you to believe that it is that way, because then they can help you demystify and unravel. Okay, now I'm comfortable talking about all this because I did it. I was that guy. Late nights, Googling, applying. Oh, just, I don't have to tell. I don't want to dredge up painful memories, right? But I'll tell you this, all kidding aside, I honestly don't believe there's any indicator, oscillator, methodology, or guru that can outperform on a consistent basis what we're going to do right here in front of you as part of your free trial open house. I encourage your questions. Ask what you will. You'll always get the truth. We have a bad day in the live training room, trade gets stopped out, whatever the case may be. We don't hide that. We don't sweep it under the carpet. That is the truth about trading. And until you understand that this is a business based on probabilities, you're never going to get tall enough, big enough, buff enough, bad enough to just be better than everybody else. It's not how it works. It's not a game of brawn. It's a mental thing. It's the noise in your head that prevents you from being consistently profitable in the market. Once you sweep away the clutter and can actually see the market for what it is, not what you want it to be, not what you think it should be, but for what it is right here, right now, well, then there's two camps. The 9 out of 10, the 1 out of 10. We're not going to teach you any gimmicks over the next few days. We don't have any gimmicks. We simply have a basic understanding of how the market works. And through the use of our methodology, which is so simple, and the indicators, color-coded for your convenience, through the use of those, you will learn to develop a narrative and understand, without anybody having to tell you, what the next high probability thing is that the market's going to do. Some say, give a man a fish, you've heard this. Feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, feed him for a lifetime, right? Okay. We're not a trade calling service per se, although Logic 247, 24/7 alert service, it's pretty awesome. But that is to, with one hand, we're showing you what our narrative tells us is the next high probability thing to happen. And with the other hand, we're teaching you how to do it yourself. I mean, do you really want to be dependent on someone else for the rest of your life to earn your living for you? Now, either way I said, it doesn't sound too bad. I can just sit on the couch, watch Springer. This guy will give me some numbers. I'm going to punch them in. and then just go to the mailbox once a week and collect a check from my broker. Yeah, that's not going to happen. What you need to do, number one, find the guy that can give you that consistently, and that's a whole nother conversation. But rather than being dazed and amazed at what somebody else can do, why not learn to do it yourself? Imagine being able to sit down in front of a chart, bring it up. You've got the knowledge. We've imparted the wisdom. You understand. You throw the indicators up. And if there is a high probability trade setup, it's right there. You don't have to hunt and do, weeks of research and all of this stuff. You need a lot of Tums. You just open a chart. It's there or it's not. If it's there, well, that's what you came for. And if it's not, don't be like the 9 out of 10. Just start clicking around because you told everybody you're going to become a trader. So now everything looks like a trade. It isn't. You got to learn patience and discipline. You got to be able to go to a different market, a non-correlated market, to see if opportunity exists there. And if it doesn't, then you have nothing to do regarding trading. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. Make a sandwich, walk the dog, go fishing. Our indicator set and our methodology, while it does an incredibly good job at pinpointing and highlighting the high probability opportunities, it has another job that doesn't get people quite as excited, although it should. It keeps you out of a market that is not conducive to trading. You see, there are times when the market presents high probability opportunity, and there's other times when the market presents what amounts to a death threat. You go in there, you try trading that, you're going to get hurt. So whatever indicators, oscillators, methodology you use, does it get you in? Or does it keep you out? It's important. You'll learn more about that over the coming days. All right, let's talk for a second about weekly trading zones. Let me label this initial target. Now, Thursday, we were looking for this move. Didn't happen. Friday, didn't happen. And here we are, Monday. Once we issue an alert, it's not going to go bad. It's not going to run out of time. There's only one reason that we ever cancel, unless I made a mistake, there's only one reason that we would ever cancel an alert. There's only one reason why a person, and it's called the too close rule. I'll go into some more detail over the next couple of days, but if you see an alert come through Logic 247, and it doesn't trigger today, it doesn't trigger tomorrow, but it triggers on Wednesday, it's as valid then as the day it was first published in the channel. And then once it does trigger, watch what happens. In most cases, price will come back to test the trigger. Most alerts give you more than one opportunity to be long or be short. Now, weekly trading zones, you got them this morning in the discussion group channel. Okay. Here's just a look at a slice of what happened last week. Price came down to the zone. When price comes down from above, we expect it to be good support. Until it isn't. It tried to bounce, couldn't get anywhere. Back to the zone. Tried to bounce, back to the zone. This time, the zone did not hold. It holds more often than it doesn't. Price came down. We had an alert. We were waiting on it. 29.24 to 29.17. Why 29.17? Well, because we had a weekly trading zone right here at 29.16/17. When price approaches the zone from above, we expect it to be good support until it isn't. Only three things happen when price hits a weekly trading zone. Whether it's the S&P, or the Dow, or the Russell, or the NQ, or gold, or crude. Those are markets that we publish the zones for each week, and we've been doing so since December 14th of 2009. All right, last week, here on the Dow, this was the Globex Open a week ago yesterday. Price came down to the zone, consolidated, moved to the zone overhead, wide-ranging consolidation, back down to the zone. Now from 495 to 660, it's about 165 Dow points, equivalent to 16.5 S&P points. Okay. Now, only three things happen when price hits a zone. Consolidation is the most likely. That's what you're going to see over and over and over and over. Occasionally, you'll see what's called rejection. That's number 2. Rejection is when price comes down, touches the zone, and then races away from the zone. Think you walked into the kitchen, hey, nice stove. You lay your hand on the burner and yow, right? You snatch it back pretty quick. That's rejection. The third and least likely thing, but it does happen, is called the slice. That's when one of these 30-minute candles busts through a zone like it's not even there. When that happens, we know what to expect. The high probability is that price, after the impulse move, will retrace back to the zone. Whether we're breaking below or breaking above, the slice, pull back, confirm that this really is going to be good resistance. And then there's only one thing left to do. Go to the zone below. And once you get to the zone below, price tries and tries and tries to break below that zone, and when it can't, it only has one other option. That's to go to the zone overhead. When it gets there and can't go any higher, it only has one option. Go back to the zone below. And if it gets rejected there, I guess it's going back up to the zone above. See that slice? What'd price do? Pulled right back to confirm good support. Put in a leg. Beautiful 100% retracement right here. Now we're back up, toying with that high. Well, the Logic 247 alert on that last night. Let me see what that was. If you have any questions, put them in the chat box. Nobody sees what you type but myself, Valerie, Bert if he's here. I think Michael may be gone at this point. But if you got a question, now's a good time to ask it so that I can not only answer your question, but I can show it to you on a chart, live in real time. Okay? So last night, we are on week 39 of Logic 247, and in Japan, 39 means thank you, and I've been meaning to say that to all of you. Thank you. You guys keep Michael and I both on top of our game. Were it not for you, we might get lazy or sedentary or watch too much Springer, right? Iron sharpens iron. It's in the book. And you guys keep us razor sharp. And for that, we thank you. All right. Where's the Dow? Consider long 26,550 to 570 and trail if possible. 550, 26, 550 is right here ish. 26, 550. All right, initial target on that was 26,570. Swing high, right here. 26,579. So it exceeded the initial target by 9 points. It then pulled back, got below the trigger. Now it's doing it again. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Now these are last week's weekly trading zones. These are last week's weekly trading zones. Again, partners and passport holders get the zones every Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. I usually reveal them to the community at large on Thursday. I'm going to put them on the chart today, the new zones, because I want those of you on the trial and the open house to be able to see them in action as price develops, okay? Not just on a historic chart. And let me say this about historic charts. We need them, we use them, what a godsend. But just remember, any Yahoo with a historic chart can make themselves look absolutely brilliant. So it's just a cautionary tale there. Don't succumb to that. Don't be seduced. Okay? Everything you see and hear, question it. Don't believe something just because somebody said it with a lot of confidence and had a swagger in their walk. No. You got to vet it. You got to drag it out in the light of day and make sure, if he said it or she said it, and you're going to believe it, it's going to become a part of the foundation of your trading business. Hey, you don't even know that guy or that lady or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you vet it, if you drag it in the light of day, if you make it stand up and salute, and it actually does, now you got something. Now you got something. Now you own it. Now it's not somebody else's thought or idea or cleverness. It's part of how you think. And that's powerful. And please, don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging you to fill your head with a lot of nonsense. No. After all these years of futures trading, left equities in 2005 to move into futures for a whole list of reasons, I have probably 5 market truths that I hold very near and very dear. Now, facts change, but the truth never does. Think about that for a moment. Tell me if this is a fact or a truth. The sky is blue. Fact or truth? It's a fact. Because facts change and the truth never does. Yes, the sky can be blue, that's a fact. As I look out the window of Studio A today, I see that the sky can also be gray. That's another fact. It can be overcast. It can be black with thunderclouds, right? Those are all facts, but the truth is the sky can be many different colors. So you've got facts and truths. Facts change, truth never does. So what do you want to learn? What do you want somebody to teach you about trading? The facts or the truth? Our methodology, our indicators, or the truth about trading? Now, that probably sounds very egotistical, and I don't mean it that way at all. I'm just trying to save you time and treasure. Okay? What we do is fluid across all markets and all time frames. That should be a slight indication that it's truth, not fact. But I don't want you to take my word for it. That would be, well, don't. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, you owe it to the trading business that you're trying to build. When I hand you a market truth, okay, sounds good. Now, go put it to the test. Put it through its paces. See, you have to know, not with your head, but with your heart, that is a truth. What I just told you, one of them. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested, right? Showed it to you over here, right? Well, over here, said to consider being short, 29.24, 29.17. Did the deal, got back above the trigger, did the deal again. I'm not speaking about this specific trade or the other one. I'm talking about a market truth. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. If you know that, if it's heart knowledge, not head knowledge, that little bit of information right there could take you an awful long way in the world of trading. But for these market truths to have meaning, to make a difference, we have to sweep away the clutter and the confusion. But hey, I've been using that for years. Right, and how much money has it made you? Well, I'm trying to get, my... Okay, all right. Ask yourself the hard questions. Whatever you got on your desktop, whatever you're using now, is it making you money, or did it contribute to the last blown up account? It's one or the other. If you had a hammer, if you were a carpenter, and you had a hammer that every time you tried to hammer a nail, the head came flying off, what would you do? Would you just keep praying that someday the head would stay on the hammer when you swung it? Or would you get a good hammer, better hammer the head doesn't fly off of, right? Okay. All right. What time is it? All right, we've clocked a couple hours in here. I've barely scratched the surface, okay? Where's price? $29.50. So to our final target, we still got another 9. I said I was going to put, because I want you to be able to take the zones I gave you in the channel this morning. I want you to be able to get those onto your chart, which brings me to this point. If you're on the trial on the open house and you've not downloaded our platform and indicators, I dare say you might as well not even take the trial. Now, this is not because I want you to open an account with Daniels Trading, who's our broker. I mean, you can if you want to. But if you open an account with them or take a trial or anything else, we don't get a commission. We don't get a kickback. Not that that's wrong. In fact, all kinds of people do that sort of thing. Michael and I decided we would just rather not muddy the water, right? If we're going to tell you that this particular broker is the best in the business, in our opinion, we want to be able to do that with a clear conscience, not because we're patting our pockets, okay? So you don't have to use Daniels Trading. You can use Ninja Trader. There's a couple others. Just ask Michael. He'll tell you what they are. So go to CFRN.net/. trial. It'll take you to this page. And pay no mind to this. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're caught up in a thing between Squarespace and CloudBrick and the new SSL requirements, which we have. We've had a security certificate for years. It's a long story. Don't get me started. Okay, just kidding. All right, no, I'm not kidding, because it's a pain, but it's supposedly getting fixed. But just don't worry about it. The site is secure. Click here. Scroll down. Fill this out. Confirm that you're not a robot. Hit the submit button. Okay. You get an email. You get a link to download the platform. Now this platform is simple by design. Not a lot of bells and whistles. I mean, if you're a Ninja Trader user, it's a great platform. Lots of bells and whistles. But We like the DT Pro platform. Also, any broker that clears through Gain Capital, and there's lots of them all over the world. I think Gain's the second largest clearinghouse. Anyway, second, third. Point is you can find a broker that clears through Gain, and if they clear through Gain, they can offer you this exact, almost identical platform. It'll just have their logo up here instead of DT Pro. But due to the lack of bells and whistles, it's so much simpler for us to teach someone how to use this platform. You can just about teach yourself. It's intuitive that way. Now, if we needed bells and whistles, we'd have to go somewhere else, but we don't. Because remember, our whole philosophy, trading's not easy, but it can be simple. So, a simple platform is the best accompaniment for our methodology. Once you fill out that form, you're going to get a link. You're going to install the software, the platform. No credit card required. Don't worry. Once you have the platform installed, go check your email for your username and password to the platform. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but sometimes that second email will go to your spam box where the first email went to your inbox. I don't know if that's still an issue or not. I know it was at some point. So if you don't see it, just go check your spam box. Okay? Once you type in your username and password, the data will populate on the chart. This is real-time data for all futures markets. I've got up here right now S&P, Dow, Russell, NQ, Crude, gold, and you'll see copper, whatever futures, and even currencies. Trade the euro, British pound on this platform. Not Forex, but the actual currency itself on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Whole different game than trading Forex. Okay? There's oversight, regulations, all kinds of things to protect you. Once you have the platform up and running, you have data, right-click Indicators, Indicator Store. And when it pops open, it'll look like this. Okay. Go down to where it says CFRN Indicators. Don't pay anything. This stuff here, we just had to put something in there. Just go here, click it, double click it, it'll install. It takes a couple minutes. Just be patient. Once it's installed, close the indicator store, and then go Insert, Indicators, CFRN, CFRN. You'll be looking at this. Okay. Now, for those of you that were in the live training room this morning, you know that this is called a bullish cross. That's our term for it. Okay? Now, we will call certain things something that you may have heard called something else somewhere else. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just we have our terms for things and other people may have theirs. So, all right. Bullish cross is when the red and blue indicator, the CFMA1, technical name, clinical, when that's blue and crosses above the bull-bear cross. Okay? This is really important. BBC. When you see me type in BBC in the discussion group, this is what I'm talking about. When we have a bullish cross and price gets above the BBC, we expect higher prices. That sounds very simple and elementary. Good. It's that way by design. Now, is there a lot of number crunching and heavy lifting and stuff going on? Yeah. But when you drive to the store, there's a whole lot going on under the hood. But you don't have to worry about that, right? Somebody else already worried about that for you. You just got to obey the traffic laws. Not get in an accident. Here, red and fallen. Bearish cross. Price gets below the BBC. In this instance, not only did the price get below the BBC, it also got below the weekly trading zone. What do you think the next high probability thing is? A move to the zone below? You're catching on fast, right? That's the indicator set. I can't teach you how to read it and how to use it until you install it. Once you have it installed, if you need some help, you can call Bert 866-928-3310, or you can message me in Telegram. I will launch a GoToMeeting. I'll shoot you the link. You'll log in. You'll see my desktop just like you see it now. And I'll help you and show you whatever it is you need. I can't do that until you install the indicators. Now, if you choose to install them on your Ninja platform, that's fine. We can still log in together. Michael's more the Ninja guy than I am, but if it's indicator based, I'll help you with it. One of us will help you with it. And if Val's available, she can even help you with it. Okay? Get those installed, and I'll see you later this afternoon in the Telegram channel. It's possible we might have a short Q&A session later this afternoon, early evening. After the show, I have to get out. Let me check. I don't know if I have. Here's my schedule today. Stand by, still checking. Okay, I know I won't be available. Tell you what. If you would like to participate in such a meeting this afternoon at an undisclosed time, because I haven't figured it out yet, just shoot Valerie an email, support@cfrn.net, or shoot her a message in Telegram. Say, hey, if he does that, I'd like to be there. And if enough people want it or feel they need it, I'll try to make it happen for you. If we don't do it today, we do it tomorrow. But the sooner you get all the questions out of the way, that's when the learning process really begins. Because as long as your head's spinning with confusion and questions, stop. Don't fritter away the time you have with us. I know it's free, but get your money's worth. Okay? When you leave here, if you decide not to become a passport holder or partner, that's okay. But if you're paying attention, you'll learn some valuable things, some market truths over these few days that I promise you, you will carry with you and use all your days as a trader. Why? Because that's just how truth works. And this is the truth about trading. Let's go to our good word for the day. Wrap this up. Go back to work. Still checking. Here we go. Okay. Still here. Okay. Also, I had asked Valerie last night to put an episode of The Mind of a Trader into the discussion group. This is a series on the mental aspects of trading. 170 episodes. Steve Croft, very talented trader, he produced this series for CFRN. We have exclusive worldwide rights. You won't find it elsewhere. We got them. I'm going to ask Valerie to put another episode into the discussion group as soon as she has a chance, so you'll be able to listen to that this afternoon. Of course, as a passport holder, partner, you have access to the library, but it's good stuff. Our good word for the day, Philippians 4:8. Keep your mind on whatever is true, pure, right, holy, friendly, and proper. Don't ever stop thinking about what is truly worthwhile. Philippians 4:8. Now, if you want to become a trader, you're going to have to learn a few things, about the charts and candlesticks and whatever. But those technical aspects, it's not the difficult part about becoming a trader. It's taking control of your own mind. Being right here, right now. Most of us spend 90% of our waking hours worrying about the future and rehashing the past to somehow, like that's going to help us. Follow? We're always back there or up there. We're either worrying and festering about something we did in the past that we cannot change, or our mind is up ahead. Oh my gosh, what's that light at the end of the tunnel there? Oh, it must be a trade, right? Or rehashing the past. It's a fruitless endeavor. The only thing that can positively impact your tomorrow is not what you did yesterday. It's what you think, say, and do today. Those are the building blocks of your tomorrow. Now, when tomorrow comes, if you don't like what you got, you built it. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's just another truth. The old saying goes, and now, don't let your... The old saying, you've heard it, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. Well, it's true, right along with idle hands. Luke 22:3 and 4. Then Satan entered Judas, so he went his way and conferred with the chief priests and captains how he might betray him to them. We all know that story. It seems Judas was constantly preoccupied with money. And Satan used this, he exploited it to the destruction of Judas. And don't think he's not capable of doing the same thing to you or I. And during the 3 years that Judas followed Jesus, he heard him repeatedly warn about the danger of money. No, he didn't. Money's not dangerous. The love of money, now there's trouble waiting to happen. Money is not the root of all evil. Take a $100 bill. You can use that thing to feed a hungry child or build a dirty bomb. No matter which way you choose to use that $100 bill, the expression on Ben Franklin's face never changes. Money's just a tool. Use it for good, use it for bad. but don't let it control you. No man can serve two masters. Now, the one I serve owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. In fact, I've been told that he will meet all of my needs according to his riches and glory. I've learned over the years, the more I focus on money, the more elusive it seems to be. But when I focus my energy on impacting the quality of someone else's life, not my own, when I'm focused on doing something for someone else or contributing to a cause greater than myself, be it monetarily, physically, time, God seems to have a way of just slipping in. And all that stuff I'd normally be worried about, festering over that stack of bills on the desk, he deals with it. I don't ask too many questions because he does a real good job of dealing with it. So I've learned to take control of my mind, take every vain thought captive, cast it down, bring it back in line. Now, it may get out of line 100 times an hour. That's okay. You bring it back in line 100 times. And let me tell you, the enemy has a real field day every time you put on a trade. He can't move the market. God won't move the market. Oh, but he can play with your head, right? I said you were going to have some new constant companions after this trial. If you listen and you take it to heart, your new companions will be patience, discipline, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. And that only comes from one place. Our minds never stop working, turning, burning. And if you don't take control of it, it will most certainly take control of you. Paul wrote this: keep your mind on whatever is true, pure, right, holy, friendly, and proper. As fascinating as the human mind is, as quickly as you can jump from one thought to another, on the big screen of your mind, you can only hold one thought. Now they flip back and forth pretty quickly, so you might think you're seeing two things at once, but you're not. The big screen only holds one image at a time, by design. And if whatever's on the big screen, the theater of your mind, right now, if it's not true, pure, right, holy, friendly, or proper, cast it down. You don't need that as a part of your life. Now, when you cast it down, the screen won't sit empty. You got to fill it. Fill it with something that's true, pure, right, holy, friendly, or proper. What you become is a direct result of what your mind dwells on. I always get stopped out. Okay? Sure you want to say that again? I'm not asking you to lie to yourself and say I never get stopped out, because you do. But you got to start addressing the situation in a proper manner, in a true manner, in a right manner. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, life consists of what a man or woman is thinking about all day. I knew this was going to happen. Of course you did. You've been thinking about it all day. The subconscious, and it's been churning and burning, just trying to bring that thing into being for you. That's how the mind works. That's how the subconscious works. When you say this always happens to me, the subconscious takes that as a command to make sure that it continues to happen to you, because apparently that's what you want. And maybe on some subconscious level, that is what you want. I've known many talented people who self-sabotaged everything they put their hand to because they thought they just didn't deserve it. I'm here to tell you, if you're a child of the King, you deserve it. It's up to you. John Locke said, the actions of men or women are the greatest interpreters of their thoughts. James Allen said, you are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. You can't escape this. You can't change it. So, you can't deal with it. Will you? Peter warned us in 1 Peter 1:13 to prepare our minds for action and exercise self-control. This is not just about trading, this is about your whole life. It's also why the psalmist wrote this in Psalm 19:13. Keep back your servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Note the words there. Meditation of my heart. Your good word for the day is take control of your mind. Deal? Deal. That's going to do it for today. I'll be in Telegram. Valerie's on duty, Michael's on duty. We're all here for you. Whatever questions you have, whatever help you need. There's probably some things that you've already seen, even though the trial and open house just started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. There's some things that they don't fit. They don't fit into that little box you have. This is trading, right? It's the box up on the shelf, right next to the box, that little small, but really small box that most of us stuff got into. This is my understanding of trading, so that is trading. I filed it, collated it, labeled it, put it in the box, put it on the shelf. The mind, like a parachute, it's got to be open to work. Take the box off the shelf, unpack that stuff, and over these few days, let's go through there. Let's take some inventory. If I didn't teach you, or if Michael didn't teach you anything over the course of this trial, if all we did was walk through a mental inventory with you, without teaching you any new indicator or setup, I'm quite confident we can help you change your thinking, which will change your trading, which will change your life, by simply shedding some light on some areas that you need to clean up. Thoughts that you have, things that you say to yourself, lack of discipline. See, these are all things you have control over, and no one else does. I could give you all the wisdom in the world and all the indicators in the world and all the setups in the world. But until you bring self-discipline to the platform, you got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't know why this guy's getting all deep. I just wanted to, learn how to click the mouse and make money trading the S&P 500. It's not easy. If it was, everyone would do it. It can be simple. Stay with us these few days. Ask lots of questions. And you will literally be able to change your thinking, change your trading, and change your life, if that's what you want. No BS, no bull, just the truth about trading. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.